こんにちわ皆さん. I am SumimaSim. This video is going to be part 2 of the Sundaes ice cream shop speed build. The first video was more like just the shop, really focusing on the shop, and now this video is more so the apartment upstairs. I mean, I kind of go back and forth a lot, but it's more so the apartment upstairs. And I also wanted to say real quick, sorry about my part 1. It was really late at night when I filmed that, and so I was kind of quiet, and I don't know, I sounded kind of groggy and stuff. Probably shouldn't have recorded at nighttime. But again, since this is my very first speed build, I guess you live and you learn. So from now on, maybe I should try to record my speed builds during the daytime when I'm more awake. Anyway, so here starting off is the apartment on the second floor. I'm working on the bathroom right now. I really love how this floor ends up turning out. I did some things a little differently than what I've done in the past, and I just think it's really cute. The thing about this one, so I'm changing the things around a lot right now. And I also you can see I kind of go around. I'm getting ideas for things. I'm putting things around. I thought I wanted to use these little cloud lights, but I've decided, just like I said in the first video, I've decided to move them over to my cupcake shop, which I guess, same thing with these little rainbow shelves. I really think my cupcake shop is going to be very rainbow themed. And so now I have like a lot of ideas for my cupcake shop, but I've decided not to make it just yet since the gameplay is going to be very similar. Speaking of gameplay, I have had more time to play this lot, and I changed my mind. Previously I had mentioned putting the individual servings on the tables to get people to go around. It turns out, since I'm only playing this family right now, then I want it to be set up for like all my other families to come do this. It's better to just have it set up in the freezers, the cartons, so that a family or a couple can come on a date or something, buy a carton and then share it. Also less places to clean if you're trying to run it, because if you have stuff all over the place, then every single table and freezer is getting dirty, and it's just such a pain. I ended up bringing in a second sim instead of having an employee. I ended up having a quote-unquote employee move in unofficially with Sunday to help run her little ice cream shop. But sorry for the background noise, my cat is just having a field day. Again, probably one of the reasons that actually recording at night is good, because she's quiet, but I'm also quiet. Anyway, getting back to the build, I'm starting on the kitchen here, and I decided I really kind of wanted to have the kitchen and living room in the same room, but I end up separating them with half walls. I didn't used to use half walls that much, but with this build, I just thought they looked really nice. I'm starting to really get into wanting to use half walls, which I haven't set up yet, obviously. But right now I'm working on the cabinets and, you know, again, trying to just test out things that I didn't used to ever do before. I was having a hard time getting this side cabinet to line up properly. It took me a while, which was annoying. Also, I ended up kind of rearranging this a little bit. At first, I think it looks so cute the way it is right now, but I ended up moving it just a little bit. I don't know, I don't remember if I was just paranoid that the stove might somehow, I don't know, catch the wall on fire or something. So here, I thought I enjoyed this. I put a little half wall up, but it's more like a counter space, or I don't know what you would call it. But I really enjoy this little area. Sometimes I like to do things differently instead of having like an actual table, especially for this lot, which was supposed to be just for one individual sim to live on up here. In fact, I locked the door so that nobody can come upstairs, to her living area, and most of the time if I'm running the shop, I'll actually lock it from her too, so that she doesn't feel tempted to come upstairs and like come watch TV while she's supposed to be working. But so you can see how I did the bathroom. Now the bathroom's all set up essentially. I think I do add a couple things. I think I'm pretty done with it. But the kitchen is pretty much done. I do try to make some changes, and I think I decide against them. But here's my favorite part. I put this little half wall here, and then I kind of separate it out, so this will be the little living room area. Oh yeah, I did not keep these windows, but at first I was trying to think about how to get more natural lighting into her living area without it being so obvious that someone lives up here. I was thinking, a shop doesn't necessarily, they don't necessarily have these big windows to let you know that they actually live there. If they did, I don't even know if this is a thing that people really do, but I used to, when I was younger, think that I always used to think that I wanted to live in a shop, like live in a home above my shop. But I ended up doing something a little differently. I'm not sure if I do it right now. I think I do. Yes. So instead of putting these windows all along the sides, I ended up putting these windows just in the corners. And this I got this idea from one of the builds in San Manchuno, where they have a chair like facing out the corner of a apartment, where he's like looking down on the city. And I thought, oh, wouldn't it be kind of fun if the store owner could kind of sit in their chair, mentally like thinking that they would be sitting up there while the store is open, that other people are running it, or just to keep an eye on their shop when it's closed even, or whatever. I just thought in a like realistic sense, I thought that would be really cute. And I really, really love these little couches. I thought like maybe go with the matching couch, but no. I thought that was a little too formal looking for just an ice cream shop owner. And so now I'm working on the living room area. Again, this is not necessarily what I normally do, but I felt more inspired because I knew that I was recording my build. It made me want to be a little bit more like explorative or whatever. So I think that's another reason why I really think I'm going to enjoy doing speed builds, is because it makes me want to work harder and make things cuter, and I'm just so in love with this area. I was not gonna actually use that broken wall thing. I just wanted to see what it looked like. In here I got wondering if I had anything else I wanted to add, but I changed my mind and went back up to the housing area. I always use the size up or down if there's something that I want. Well, it didn't used to size down things, but now it does, I think, so that's cool. I don't normally size things down, but I will size things up, and maybe I think I might want to try like doing some extremes of that in the future, like having some things that are majorly huge and having things that are really small. I saw someone else size down the saucer lights, which I really think I want to look into doing for one of my future builds. But I was focusing on making this area not too cluttered. I really don't like cluttering up spaces too much. I like them to feel airy but personal. So I was trying not to get it too cluttered. I actually tend to like Maxis made houses that are really open. So I always try to keep my builds really open for housing. I want them to be able to move around. Well, in the old Sims, people literally couldn't walk through each other like they can now. they had to take turns coming up and down stairs, or take turns like walking through doors and stuff. So I just guess I got stuck in this mindset that you always need to have 3 spaces for every walkway. So I don't like making any walk area or any room smaller than 3 spaces, because I feel like Sims will get stuck there, and I guess that's not necessarily true anymore, but that's how it used to be. Now, like you see, her stairwell is 1, but then I thought it's 1 Sim coming up and down it, which is why I made it 1. Whereas the stairwells that are for the public, I think I made them all 4 stair width. And I think that's just coming from someone who used to play The Sims 2 all the time and struggling to have Sims wanting to use the same stairwell and they can't. Like, really taking turns. Oh, so frustrating. I used to build like multiple stairwells just so that I could try to avoid having people stuck. I will say I started playing around with rugs more so. Again, I was feeling inspired because I knew I was recording it, made me want to work a little harder, and I always think rugs are really a great way to accent a room and make it look a little bigger, a little nicer. So I have some rugs around here, and I think I'm really going to enjoy playing with all the rugs because I normally don't. Here I was working so hard to get the thermostat in a good position, and it ends up, you know, of course the thermostat is for seasons, so I ended up removing it altogether. I think I only had 2 things that I had accidentally brought in from other packs. One was, I think, from Spa Day, and one was from Seasons, so I ended up removing those things. But here I work so hard, I'm just so used to putting a thermostat in every single one of my homes that I just didn't even think about the fact that that's only for seasons and it's not gonna work, since I was trying not to do that. Now I really wanted to use that poster, and I wanted it to be with these flowers, so I ended up doing the cheat because again, I only use move objects on whenever it's something like that where I know it's not going to affect any gameplay. I feel more nervous to use it for active items, especially in the kitchen. I never want to use move objects on in the kitchen because I feel like something could go wrong, or like with a fireplace, I don't want to risk my Sims dying ever. I will say that I am really enjoying doing this, playing with this pack, playing with the ice cream. I've really enjoyed. I think it would have been nice if like they expire, and I haven't really found, I guess it's going to be the same way with cupcakes, and I've never had a shop where the items expired before, so that's a learning process for me. Now, I did really, really love this wallpapering, which I think I won't say I never used. And then I was trying to be like interesting with the kitchen area, and I spent quite a long time just, I think I ended up just putting it normal because the flooring, I didn't want to make the flooring so... Oh no, I do make some changes, I remember now. I think maybe the flooring stays the same, but I think the walls, because I ended up moving some move cheats, and here I just finished saying that I don't use move cheats in the kitchen, but you'll understand when I do. Also, how I just put that half wall so when they come down the stairs they immediately have to turn. I don't know why, but that made me like super happy. Don't judge me for the rugs that I'm going through right now. I'm just trying to see, was there anything that might possibly look nice. I think I end up leaving it with this because I just thought that looked nice. I'm pretty sure I leave this, and I still like it, so I hope I leave this. To be honest, I just don't pay attention. I really think this is how I leave it. Okay. Then I do a little wall accent, and I've never done this before, but I really, really loved what I did here, and it definitely has inspired me in the future to do something like it. So I use this little wall accent, and I think I have to move objects on, to get it to fit properly, but see how I used it as like a border between the different wallpapers to make it a little more okay. And it's kind of like running up from the half wall. So I don't know, I really liked that. I've never done that, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that. Oh yeah, and that's why I moved the stove over, is because I decided I did not want to risk the stove, since I'd used a move objects cheat to put that runner on the wall. I did not want to risk that it might catch on fire somehow or not be usable. Now here, I end up just putting some shelves along this wall and really no decorations. And the reason for that is because I know you earn at least a couple decorations from like the store perks. And then also I thought it would be fun to take pictures with customers and have like customer photos on the wall here. So if you are wondering why this wall is like completely bare looking when I finish, it's because I just thought it would be fun to put customer photos, and that comes from gameplay that I was imagining for myself, not necessarily that anybody has to do it. If you wanted to do something else with this wall, if you decide to use this build, that's totally fine. I just threw down a couple things, and yeah, so here's the shelf I use, and it's just one long shelf along the way for me to put a couple different decorative items on, but mainly I wanted to use the wall space for customer photos and achievements and stuff that she gets in her lifetime. But this is pretty much, I think this is where I'm finished with this level after this. I have to admit, because it was late at night by the time I got to this point, I actually took like 2 or 3 different days working on this build, just stopping and coming back to it. I am not accustomed to that. Usually I just sit down and work, but because it was 4 levels and I was putting in a more detail than sometimes I do, I was really kind of exhausted at this point, and I'm a little ashamed to say that when I get up to the 3rd floor, I just kind of was like, let it be gameplay. If there's something that I want to do, or if somebody else wants to do with the 3rd floor, let it be done, because I was just so pleased with this 2nd floor, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I was thinking about actually playing Sunday, and because she is working in this store, I imagined living there, she never actually goes outside and like hangs outside of her apartment, and sometimes you just want to go outside for a little bit. So I decided to give her where she lives up here, and she can exercise and get on the computer and then spend some time, quote unquote, outside. I'm not entirely in love with how I do this upstairs, especially the bedroom. I think I could have put more little decorations, maybe a little bit more clutter. And at the time that I got when I was here, I just wasn't feeling it. Like, I was kind of tired, and I just wanted to be done, because at this point I don't think I had actually played any of it. And I really wanted to play some of the game. I wanted to play the ice cream shop. And I thought the 2nd floor looked so nice, and as long as there's some stuff up here, that's all that matters. But I do like that I made this little courtyard. It's a thing that sometimes, I've done this a few times in my simming. I like to make little courtyards like this. Especially like I have some science sims and stuff, or like a gardener, if I don't want them to have a lot of space outside. Like, or if they're doing quote-unquote like secret gardening like a scientist would, then I sometimes give them a secret courtyard. I don't know why this is a thing for me, but I really like it. But I thought about giving her one of those like she has outside, but I decided against it. Instead made it more like a smoke break area, I guess. I don't know. But I'm not sure that I actually intend to have this sim do any gardening, but I guess I should at least put some flowers up there. I don't know what else I could put in the courtyard. If y'all have any suggestions for like decorations for a courtyard, I would be very interested to know. In my high school growing up, we had a courtyard, and my friends and I would always hang out in the courtyard, and I thought it was like the coolest design feature I had ever seen in my life. And that was like until I went to Las Vegas and saw that, you know, being in the hotel and it looks like you're outside when you're inside, which I guess is kind of very similar to a courtyard. So I guess I have a thing about that. But here, as you can see, the bedroom is fairly simple, nothing all that fancy. I don't even think I use like any super special lighting or anything. I know I was trying to go for like lamps, but I didn't want it to be so dark. And traditionally, I would use like either a bunch of lamps or the overhead lights. Traditionally, I don't really use wall lights, but a friend of mine, we were talking about it recently, and he was saying how he really only ever uses wall lights, and I thought that was pretty interesting, so I tried to use it more in this game, since they are kind of like a nice little like accent to the room. Part of me does wish that I had done like an overhead fan somewhere around here, but I didn't, so I'm over it. I ended up deciding with this being the bedroom, and the room side to it would be just like her workout room, because since she is a ice cream shop owner, oh no, I think I put all those back, yeah, change your mind. Because she's an ice cream shop owner, she eats a lot of ice cream and so she gains weight a lot faster. Now, there is some special ice creams. One is to gain weight and one is to lose weight, but I don't always feel like, I kind of feel like it's a cheat, but not really. So I can just bring her up here to exercise on her time off. I have been considering putting Lewis's bed up here because, poor thing, since he's an employee, now I don't know if they'll develop a relationship or not, and therefore he could just move in with her, but right now he is an unofficial household member, and so he just sleeps on the couch whenever they're off shift, the poor thing, because I just act like he lives somewhere else, but really I need him to help me run this shop. But yeah, I don't know, are we like getting close to the end here? I'm looking all around. Maybe I'm just, oh no, we're not done yet. Just kidding. I was getting distracted, sorry about that, guys. So here I'm still just looking for decorations, and I have to say I really love the sloth poster, or the sloth Warhol. I have a thing for sloths, so now I just am trying to, I don't know, like do some last minute spicing. I put down a couple of rugs because I do, like I said, I think rugs make an area look good. And then I decided to put some plants up here. The only thing about these plants, I personally love them, but the way I put them actually blocks her from going straight to the computer. So whenever she comes up here to use the computer, she walks the long way around. That doesn't bother me at all, but if it bothers you, I think you can just remove one or all of these plants and they will go straight over to the computer. And we're now finally done with this build, so I'm gonna leave you to the screenshots. Thanks for watching, guys.